Now, the MT-09 is truly an iconic naked bike, and I think it stands alone in the under $9,000 category of motorcycles for being the best buy you can get for your 9 grand. But anyway, we have a real treat today. They've just finished paving and putting in the yellow lines in an area where I ride. I don't like to ride these areas a day or two after they pave them because I know they're slippery. But we had big rain come through, and I think we'll be ready to lean on it today. Now, this time of year, job one is to always and never miss a day of riding if it's rideable. Today, we don't know. Because whatever, when they predict rain or they predict a nasty day, a lot of times they're wrong. And a lot of times I take a chance, and it works out okay sometimes. Shouldn't say all the time. Anyway, I always plan this time of year. If it's terrible outside, I have an indoor project. Now, I do have an indoor project I want to evaluate this morning. And if it warms up and gets nicer in the day, we'll get a ride in. But you never know that. This early in the morning, you can never really tell what the weather's going to be like until you see how those clouds are starting to form. So what happened, it was a while back, Turbo Steve needed this muffler for a project. It was the original muffler that came with the bike. I don't even know what kind of muffler it is, but it's irrelevant anyway. It's a typical, you can look in one end and see out the other end. There you go. And these are usually pretty loud. Well, this one wasn't terrible, but this one is even louder. So somewhere in the very near future, and I don't know when, if I get a riding day, I'm still going to ride. But if I get a day where it's terrible out, one of my next projects is to polish this all up. Make sure I have all the clamps and I can just do this. Yeah, I've got the clamp there and I got there. I think Steve left the clamp there. I don't know if he did. If he didn't, I'll make one. But this is the whole thing, is having choices. Now, the only thing wrong with this muffler, it's loud. And when we were riding in Harriman Park all the time and going up and down 106, there's no houses there. Who cares? It's MotoGP. But where we're riding now, these populated areas, this I know is a little bit quieter. But again, that's a project. Over the winter, we try to line up 8, 10 little projects. This is going to be one of them. Now, I've had really good success lowering the forks on several of the motorcycles. The R1 responded beautifully. The MT-09, I went all the way on the first shot and never put it back. And each one of the bikes responds just a little differently, and you always have the option of putting it back. Because of the air forks, we're not able to do the GS or the RD. I don't think either one of them would benefit anyway, because the RD especially is pretty low to begin with. And the best one, the 650R, that one responded really well. So I'm happy with the way that's all worked out. So it does give me confidence that the day I get to do this, and again, I don't know if I'm going to get to do it in the next day or two. I'm always trying to plan my projects ahead of time, always trying to plan out a day. If it's a riding day, not a riding day. And this will be one of the projects. I want to lower the front end on this. And then we basically will have all the bikes that we can lowered, and we can really, I've never felt the need to put any back. So here's my point. I have a muffler to work on, and I have the fork lowering little job, and that's what I'm doing. I'm making up my list for the winter starting right now. And each bike, this bike will not need tires or a chain or any major maintenance, but I want to have everything on a nice, neat, organized list that I can refer to. But the biggest one, I really wish I had a quiet muffler. And I do have the muffler that I had that was really quiet. The bike just didn't really run right, and I don't want to screw around with the bike because it has a jet kit. So, and in the meantime, what's going to happen if I get a riding day? I just want to ride until the winter shuts us down. So Karen checked the weather again. She says it's a good chance it's going to be a nicer day about an hour from now. Be reasonable. And she has some errands she wants to do. I think we're going to take care of them. But the first thing I want to do before I do anything, I want to move the motorcycles around and get the bike of the day ready for a ride. So if I get back, I could just head out on the open road. And you can basically see, this is pretty funny to look at. Here we have a 1991, a 2020. Traction control, no traction control. Quick shifter, no quick shifter. Ride modes, no ride modes. ABS, no ABS. That's the whole difference. Riding modern bikes, riding older bikes. So it does have the look that the day is going to play out okay for a ride, but I did want to get these bikes cleaned up and ready to go. And we have what hopefully is going to be a very nice week of fall weather ahead of us. So I wanted to get this bike cleaned up. As long as I had it out in the driveway, I can clean it up a lot easier than inside the garage. Get it ready for the next ride, put it in a pitching rotation, and get the MT-09 ready for the ride today. It looks like it's going to be a really nice day. So the FZR is all cleaned up and ready for another ride, but I want to ride the MT-09 today. And that's the nice thing about having when all the bikes are different. You can pick. It's like having a harem. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but it is like having a harem. So that's ready for our next project day. We got several things lined up on our list of things to do to the FZR. Right now we want to ride. It looks like it's going to be a riding day. And getting the MT-09 cleaned up, I'll be all set to go no matter what Karen wants to do with her errands today. And when you keep a bike clean between rides, it's a piece of cake getting it ready for the next ride. Now we're all set to go. All we need is a final check of the weather and an extra cup of coffee. Every day that goes by, I'm amazed. We still have zinnias this late in the season. They're still blooming. So while I'm out riding, Karen is going to make chili. When I get back home on this chilly day, we'll be eating chili. Okay, birds, we're having chili for supper. What do you say? You'd rather have seeds. I got it. And this is chicken enchiladas. So what are we going to have tonight? We're having the chili or the chicken?
I think we're going to have the chili today.
Chili, okay. Believe it or not, still a few tomatoes. I can't believe this. Tomatoes. This late in the year. We're going to have tomatoes at Christmas. Right in our backyard, we got a view of that beautiful tree that's in full bloom right now. That it for today? We're going to go hungry soon. A few more? Okay. Now they said no chance of rain today, but it's going to get gusty. 30-mile-an-hour gusts later today. We may have to edit some of the wind noise out of the video. But it's a beautiful day. And just like that, we are ready to go. Now every couple of weeks I stop here by what I call Devil's Tower, and it is an amazing thing that they're doing with this road. This is where Route 3 and Route 46 come together. I'm documenting it. I don't know how they're going to do it. Look at this. They're cutting the whole side of the mountain down to make the road wider, route the road. The train is right up on top. It's pretty impressive stuff. Pretty cool. And I pass it every day on the way out to the riding area. Well, I hope they're pre-flighting these planes because that wind is really blowing today. Going past Lincoln Park Airport. I'm wondering. Nobody is flying at all today. So today I took a lot of the back roads through Lincoln Park and through, well, past Devil's Tower. I have to do that every day. And looking at, there wasn't a single plane flying today. There was nobody, no propellers turning at the airport today.
Lord, there are some beautiful trees. Oh my God. And we're not really in full bloom yet. I don't think so. Anyway.
And this time of year, the scenery is just absolutely gorgeous. And we're not at the end of it yet. We still have some more to go. And you never know. See, this hangs out. These trees change and everything for about a month. And then they'll linger until we get the first real frost of the year. And we haven't had that yet. So more to come. And as I always say every time I ride, having a quick shifter on this bike has spoiled me. I just never get sick of fooling around with the quick shifter. And especially on a day like today, these roads are newly paved. They're just about a week old now in some of these spots. It's really beautiful and smooth. And some of the areas where they've been digging it up, I know I have that on video several times, and roads closed and detours and everything. But now that it's basically all done, I think 99% of it is done. This area to ride is just like riding on glass. It's just beautifully smooth almost everywhere.
And boy, that wind is howling. It is snowing leaves. You can see them blowing across the street. And it's blowing a bike around like a sailboat today.
Oh, anytime I ride up in this area, I try to explore some of the little communities and back roads and things that you get off the beaten path, and these look like summer houses to me. But there's beautiful scenery, and every one of these back roads leads somewhere that I've never been before. One of the things I really like about this bike, it's quiet when I'm riding through these populated areas like today. I don't disturb the peace. I don't wake up the wolves in the woods. I don't attract a lot of attention. I don't wear out my Valentine radar detector. It's a beautiful, and by the way, this bike has no muffler. I know what you're thinking. They make aftermarket mufflers for the motorcycle. Well, the bike has a catalytic converter only. There is no muffler as such. There's no slip-on muffler that you just slip on like on a lot of sport bikes. And Yamaha's done their homework. It's beautifully quiet and a great power band. And needless to say, the combination of the leaves and a little bit of moisture early in the morning and this new pavement, there are still some slippery spots, even though it's beautiful. The traction control on this bike works perfect. You can feel it coming on. You can feel it cutting the power at times. And you never have to worry about doing a wheelie with the bike.
Well, how much nicer than this is it ever going to get? Wow. It is really a spectacular day, except for the wind. If only we could make the wind stop blowing.
Now, I always leave the traction control in the most invasive setting because I don't want to do wheelies. I'm sure there's stunt guys that want to do wheelies. I want to keep the both wheels on the ground all the time. So, but that's just me. And that traction control is a wheelie control too. And all the lakes in this area, the ones on the back roads, the ones on the main roads, all the lakes are so scenic now. And if there wasn't so much wind blowing, you could get some nice reflections in the water. But, well, hey, sometime you have to go to war with the army that you have, or with the wind that you have. And today we did. The thing with this bike and the thing with the traction control, if you take off from a dead stop and just whack the throttle wide open, all it does is spin the back tire. The traction control kicks in and keeps it from doing a wheelie. Now, I don't know because I don't ride the bike with the traction control off. I'm sure then you can wheelie and do stunts and do everything, but I love it the way it is. And I've been doing two things at the same time, monitoring the wear on the set of Michelin 5s that are on the bike right now. And boy, it looks like they're lasting way more than I thought they would. And at the same time, they're really grippy on all of these surfaces that I ride on a regular basis. I'm already thinking every day, and think about it a lot while I'm riding the bike. The mods we're going to do over the winter, they'll all be on future videos. If you're new to the channel, we do a lot of custom work over the winter, and we're going to be making a set of custom wheels for this bike. So 3 very pleasant hours went by, and it's time to head back to the farm, see how Karen's chili is coming, among other things. See what we're going to be doing for the rest of the afternoon, because she's got some errands planned. But it's been a wonderful ride, a really, really nice day to be out on the MT-09. So we had a really nice ride. The wind didn't really spoil anything. I'm going to have to edit out some of this wind noise. A small price to pay for having a nice ride on the MT-09. So I hope you did enjoy sharing a ride with us. Enjoy the video channel. And thanks so much for watching. Now my bike collection is really one bike from every 10-year period, starting with the 70s. And in the time that I've been actively involved with motorcycling, I really enjoy the fact that each one of the bikes is different, and that I get to ride them under different conditions, different times of the year. Sometimes in the freezing winter, sometime in that really hot, sweaty summer. But I do enjoy editing the video. I enjoy even more shooting the video. Trying to get a ride in almost every day that it's possible. And in that great winter, coming up with some mods we want to do, some paint work, the custom wheels I want to have for this bike. And again, I hope you did enjoy the presentation today. So if you enjoyed the video, I hope you share it with your friends. And of course, I hope, most of all, that we'll see you tomorrow. And thanks again for watching.